Hey, everybody. I'm Kathy Weiss, one half of the Entrepreneur Oracle. My friend and fellow gifted intuitive, Andrea Rickett, and I have come together to create a series of Oracle decks to help entrepreneurs, business owners, or people thinking about becoming one navigate the wild ride of emotions that comes along with being your own boss. The first deck is all about spiritual support for entrepreneurs, and you can be one of the first people to get your hands on that at entrepreneurauracle.com. And while you're there, we've got all kinds of other amazing rewards that you can get as well. And speaking of rewards, I have Bre-An Appler with me here today. Hey, Bre-An.
Hi, Kathy.
It's so great to have you here. And Bre-An has a really cool reward that she's offering for someone. But before we get into that, let me tell you all about the amazingness that she is. Bre-An Appler is passionate about helping you come home to yourself and transform your life through the ancient art and science of Feng Shui. Bre-An has been practicing Feng Shui without knowing it since she was about 8 years old. She was highly aware of our relationship to the environment and filled up sketchbooks with floor plans that she dreamed up in her imagination, which is so cool, by the way. Fast forward to today, she's studied at the Western School of Feng Shui and is a certified practitioner of essential feng shui. Bre-An is an artist since the beginning, and she also holds a diploma in graphic design. Her education in design, being highly sensitive to energy, and her love of interior spaces has allowed her to help clients feel at home and connect with the essence of who they are and what they desire. You sound like a magic maker to me, Bre-An. That's so cool.
Thank you.
And you've been super generous in offering a really great reward that people can get along with the Entrepreneur Oracle deck. So, can you tell us all about that?
Sure. So, what I am contributing to your fabulous deck in terms of rewards is basically a month-long consultation. So, my work is all about coming home to yourself, and whether that's connecting to, a relationship you want to manifest in your life or your business, really connecting to those things that are deep within your soul that you want. And so I like to go really deep with people. And so this is basically one consultation for one person,
Mhm.
but I work with clients for a whole month. And that's because there's so many different layers and there's so much to look at in your home and how it relates to how you're showing up in your life and what you want to create.
Mhm.
And so there's 2 sessions within the month and then a follow-up. There will be email support in between. And basically, and it's all online,
Mhm.
so it doesn't matter where you are. And basically, whoever is the recipient of this will send me photos and I'll take a look at all of them beforehand and assess things, and then we'll jump on our first session, and I usually go through sort of half the home because I want to really take the time to look at how your life really is showing up in your environment.
Mhm.
So we'll do that, and then there'll be time in between for that person to implement things. And then we'll finish up with the second session and have also the follow up after that.
That sounds so amazing. I'm thinking about my own office right now, and I'm like, oh, I think I might need to like hook you up and see my office space. And that sounds super wonderful. But I have a couple of really juicy questions for you as an entrepreneur and about your business. So, what you're going to do is think about the way that your business is right now today. Okay. And the first question is, in your business today, what would you do more of?
That's a very good question. For me, I think putting myself out there and not being too shy to be visible
Hmm.
is something that I would do more of. And I'm working on that. I think as, somebody who's highly sensitive and an introvert, that's hard to be out there all the time. So that's something that I'm definitely working on.
I feel you also highly sensitive introvert, so I totally feel you. Like I feel you and I understand you as well. And that can be a challenge for those of us who experience the world that way. And I always get like so grateful and blessed for the technology because it's like we can connect but still be like in our own space. You know what I mean? So yeah,
So
I'm
true.
so with you on that. Okay, so same thing. How your business is right now today, what would you do less of?
Hmm. I think, well, this is a lifelong lesson for me, but
Mhm.
just getting caught up in that perfectionism of
Mm,
having to have everything, sorted out before, which is really impossible to do. And so I kind of have been trying to just jump into things more
mhm.
instead of feeling like I need to have it all laid out. And even just sharing online or sharing in my newsletter, I feel like I need to have this really tight structure, but that's not really who I am. And so I'm trying to go with the flow more and not be so rigid, and I guess allowing that to hold me back.
Yeah, it almost sounds like that one goes a little bit with the first one,
Yes.
right? Yeah, that's interesting. I love that. So I
It
think
does.
I think the people who are watching and listening are going to be able to relate and understand like that struggle because there's a, when we become our own bosses, we do want everything to be perfect and a really great representation of who we are. But at
Yes.
some point, we also have to be able to be like, and vulnerable. Here we go. Yeah, for sure.
Totally.
Um,
Totally.
what would you completely stop doing?
Um, this is also something that I'm working on, but I
Yeah.
would stop putting everybody else's needs before my own.
Mm. That's huge. And
Yes.
and yeah, one of the things that Andrea and I really believe in is that how you are in life is how you are in your business. And it is always a process,
100%.
right? It's like we're always kind of learning and growing and evolving as a person through the experience of our business. Yeah. So that's a big life lesson for a lot of women, especially entrepreneurs, because now we want to put our business and our relationships and our children and everything else before this. And so good for you. I applaud you for recognizing that and making those efforts. Okay, next one, same thing. How your business is right now, what would you start doing?
What I start doing? You know what? I'm going to be very vulnerable and say taking it more seriously.
Ooh,
So today I actually thought of having a weekly meeting with myself
mhm,
because it's only me,
right.
and I I guess I haven't been really on the ball with planning and sort of um, looking at the week ahead. Now, this is kind of contradicting what I said before,
Hmm.
in the question you just asked me, but I think I'm going to, yeah, really take it seriously in that I make it a priority, um, and not make everything else and everyone else a priority. So that connects to the last question
Yeah,
as
those
well.
really go hand in hand for you. And that makes sense. Yeah, it's like kind of either Friday afternoon before you wrap up the work week or Monday morning when you're starting, you actually kind of look at like, these are the priorities for my business. And then we make sure that they happen. It
Yes.
takes so much. Would you agree? This is not a question, but it's just coming up for me. Would you agree that it takes a bit of self-discipline to be your own boss?
1,000%. I agree with you.
Okay,
A
okay.
thousand percent. And that has been such a lesson for me in terms of, and it's funny because I've always felt like I have been a self starter, but it's always been starting things for other people.
Mhm.
and because there was always somebody else. So I guess I'm the type of person that is really motivated by other people's needs and being accountable to that. And
Mhm.
so that's been a huge lesson, to be accountable to myself
Yeah.
and cultivating that discipline for
I
sure.
I so hear you 100%. Okay, last question about your biz. What would you keep doing?
I think I would keep being true to myself and not letting the millions of ways that people do things influence me. I think every entrepreneur goes through that, in that they sign up for the courses and the webinars, and I need to be doing this and that. And I definitely got caught up in that. But now I feel like I'm really coming home to that
Mhm.
place in myself where I will look to things for advice, but it's really about what feels good to me. So I'm going to keep doing that.
Oh my God, I just got so excited because I'm thinking I channeled the messages for the cards in the deck, and Andrea did the artwork. And as you were saying that, I was remembering one of the channeled messages is all about like you do look to other people who have gone before you for advice and suggestions, but you always have to come home to hear and see which of that advice works for you and which of that advice is better for someone else, right? It's all good stuff. There's so much good stuff out there, but it's like, which one is right for this? And the
Yes.
way that you're experiencing the world. I feel like you just like like so much affirmation in there. I'm all covered with chills right now. It's like, high five, sister. I'm so with you. So friends, fellow entrepreneurs, if you would love to get that month-long consultation, Feng Shui, your home and your life with Bre-An, head and get spiritual support for entrepreneurs, head over to entrepreneurauracle.com and find the goodness over there. Bre-An, has been such a pleasure and a joy talking with you today. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm excited to be part of your project that you're launching.
It's a thrill to have you on board. And fellow entrepreneurs, remember this: you are not alone. Bye.
Bye.